already seen him. Usyk was a hell of a fighter, a gold medalist, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but he was behind the scenes. Two guys with a crazy amateur backgrounds, and one guy is not.
Usyk gonna come up again. I like Usyk. He's really good. You know, he's a legend. He's on my pound for pound list for sure.
Floyd Mayweather has officially entered the storm surrounding the highly anticipated rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois, and he's not holding back. The undefeated boxing icon has unleashed a verbal barrage, putting his respect, money, and belief squarely behind Usyk, while issuing a stark warning to Dubois. Mayweather made it clear, Usyk isn't just dangerous, he's destruction in motion. Calling Usyk the most calculated...
I think so. I think I've shown that in my last 3 fights that I'm totally different. I'm more confident, believe myself more and whatever, but yeah, ready.
Killer in the division, Mayweather didn't mince words. In his eyes, Daniel Dubois is walking blindfolded into a nightmare. While many hail Dubois' transformation, Floyd sees through the noise. He's fighting a surgeon, Mayweather warned. This won't be a war. It'll be surgical. He dismisses Dubois' hype as illusion, evolution math.
Daniel's a heavy puncher. Both hands carries dynamite. And it's just going to be a case of picking his moments, believing in his work, and there are 3 or 4 fundamental things that he must do. And if he does them...
Asked by desperation, but Dubois fires back, ice cold and unshaken. He claps back at Mayweather's loyalty to Usyk with unwavering confidence. "I'm not the same man," Dubois declares. With 3 brutal wars behind him, he insists he's evolved, sharper, smarter, and far more dangerous. The pressure, he says, doesn't break him. It fuels him. While Mayweather puts his faith in Usyk, Dubois warns that this time he's coming...
Oleksandr Usyk is the consummate professional, all right? He's not going to be easy. I don't care how you come at him. He's a consummate professional. He's unique in that he'll bring the fight to you 1 minute, and then the next minute, he's moving and grooving. It's hard to get.
With vengeance, belief, and the fire to burn every prediction to the ground. Yet not everyone in Dubois' past shares that belief. James Ali Bashir, Dubois' former trainer, delivers a ruthless bombshell. He publicly sides with Usyk and tears through the hype surrounding his ex-pupil. To Bashir, Dubois' recent wins are illusions, not indicators of growth. Even the brutal brawl with Jarrell Miller, celebrated by fans, gets no love. Bashir calls...
Usyk, in your opinion, can't cope with that?
No one can. No one can. No one can. We'll bring our game. Like I said, Daniel has now spent, by the time this fight comes around, he would have spent 2 years, exactly 2 years with this.
It's survival, not dominance. There's heart, he concedes, but there's no real evolution. He warns that Usyk won't bring a fight, he'll bring a dismantling. Trainer Don Charles, on the other hand, remains fiery in his belief. He proclaims Dubois a re-engineered beast, built to dismantle Usyk. He's colder, smarter, more dangerous than ever, Charles says. But boxing insiders know better than to rely...
I'll give Dubois a shot in that fight. It's a good time. I mean, a little bit of inactivity because of the fight falling through against Joseph Parker, but, you know, it's exciting. And I think definitely...
On hype. Usyk isn't just another name to overpower. He's a master technician, a man who's crushed giants with calm precision. The louder the Dubois camp screams evolution, the colder Usyk responds. It's brute force versus brilliance, and brilliance tends to win under bright lights. Promoter Eddie Hearn tries to offer hope, but even his confidence seems hollow. His words about Dubois feel like scripted damage control, not belief. The truth? Dubois' momentum was crushed by that savage loss to Joseph Parker. A long layoff followed.
Some people are talented, some people are dedicated to the sport, they're not consistent. Or I think the biggest factor is they're not confident in themselves, or they just ain't mentally prepared to be
leaving him slower and rustier. Meanwhile, Usyk is razor sharp, focused, and fully active. One is prepared for war. The other is still rebuilding. Amir Khan, while offering surface-level praise, couldn't escape the undeniable truth either. Usyk operates on a different dimension. Dubois, despite his growth, remains outgunned. You can't just rush in and hope to survive, Khan warned. Every mistake is a trap. Every punch is a test.
Dubois now is a different machine.
Self-confidence will be...
And time waits for no man, as the saying goes. I just think that this is a fight. It's exciting. It's a good fight. You've got to make Usyk the favourite, but it's a fight that Daniel Dubois can definitely...
But not all criticism targets Usyk. Boxing analyst Masatuma takes a controversial stance, slamming both fighters. He calls Usyk a flashy illusionist, relying on movement and footwork while lacking grit. But it's Dubois who receives the harshest critique. Utuma labels him mentally weak, emotionally untested, and a glorified bodybuilder with no ring IQ. He folds under pressure, he claims. His power means nothing against resistance. To Masatuma, Dubois isn't on the verge of greatness. He's walking into a career-defining exposure. Carl Frock joins the discussion with high praise at first. He hails
Daniel Dubois. He's on a roll. He's coming off of a massive win against AJ. Usyk's also on a massive roll. So I think that fight's going to come down to mindset.
Dubois as a reborn monster, dripping with vengeance and raw aggression. But quickly, the mask slips. Froch admits Usyk is still the favorite. Suddenly, his hype sounds more like a soft warning than real faith. Dubois may bring fire, Froch says, but Usyk brings frost, and frost always outlasts flame. Chris Eubank Jr. adds fuel to the fire, backing Dubois as the next great heavyweight force. After blasting past Anthony Joshua, Eubank believes Dubois is the wrecking ball destined to
Daniel's a heavy, heavy puncher, and both hands carries dynamite. It's just going to be a case of picking his moments, believing in his work, and there are 3 or 4 fundamental things that he must do, and if he does them, he'll have to
take the division. But even he acknowledges that Usyk's momentum is equally terrifying. This isn't just about fists, it's a battle of minds, and that raises a crucial question. Can Dubois mentally survive the storm Usyk brings? Eubank emphasizes it's not skill or size that will decide this fight. It's mindset. In his view, only one man will emerge from this pressure cooker with his will intact. It's not just a fight, he says. It's a war of identities, and only one survives. Boxing analyst George Fox joins the Dubois camp, branding him a human wrecking ball with nuclear-level knockout power. Fox points to Dubois' improved timing, discipline.
Oleksandr Usyk is the best fighter in boxing, period. Of this generation, what he's done at cruiserweight, what he's done at heavyweight, what he's done to all the other British fighters, to do the double over AJ, the double over...
and maturity. But he stops short of declaring him the favorite. Against someone like Usyk, raw power often becomes bait. This isn't power versus power, Fox says. It's raw muscle against refined mastery, and Usyk still holds the edge. Adam Smith raises the stakes even higher. He calls Usyk the very pinnacle of modern boxing greatness. From conquering cruiserweights to dismantling heavyweights like Anthony Joshua, Usyk's run is described as historic. Smith suggests that if Usyk beats Tyson Fury next, the conversation ends. No debates, no arguments. Usyk becomes the definitive king of this generation.
Daniel Dubois against Oleksandr Usyk. Realistically, has he got any chance? We've got 30 seconds.
Of course he has. Look, it's a tough ask, of course. You know, the thing with Usyk is he doesn't depend on his power to knock you out. He depends on his skill. That's why it's a tough ask, because he's going to box rings around you if you let him. Dubois, good luck. Don Charles, good luck. Great British boxing, good luck. We potentially might have a heavyweight championship back on our soil.
Meanwhile, Duke McKenzie calls Usyk a living rewrite of boxing's golden era. With unmatched footwork, timing, and adaptability, Anthony Joshua offers a sobering voice of experience. He knows firsthand the storm Dubois is stepping into. While Joshua admits anything is possible in boxing, He stresses that this isn't an ordinary bout. It's a cerebral war against a man who dissects mistakes and punishes them with chilling precision. Joshua urges Don Charles to truly grasp what they're up against. Even a split-second lapse, he says, can turn into a systematic breakdown. Usyk's promoter, Oleksandr Usyk.
This guy is a beast. He's a good fighter. He's a hard fighter to beat. And I think he'll learn from the mistakes he made in the first fight against Usyk, and it will give him a hard fight. Look, he has the...
Usyk echoes the sentiment. He insists Usyk is more evolved than ever. A machine with one purpose: dismantle. This isn't a clash of equals, Krasyuk says. It's raw aggression versus flawless execution, and that gap is wide, brutally wide. Amir Khan circles back into the conversation, doubling down on Dubois' evolution. He insists the fighter is more dangerous than ever, but even he doesn't deny what lies ahead. Dubois has changed, Khan says, but Usyk is a test like no other. Mistakes will be punished. Pressure will be exploited. Masatuma reinforces the reality. This won't be a slugfest, he warns. This is a cerebral execution chamber. Dubois must be perfect from bell to bell, or risk becoming another statistic on Usyk's list of victims. Now the battlefield is set. On one side, Daniel Dubois, a young, powerful, hungry warrior fighting for legacy, redemption, and respect. On the other, Oleksandr Usyk, the undefeated maestro, the calculated killer, the surgeon of the sport. Dubois may carry youth and fire, but Usyk holds brilliance, legacy, and ice in his veins. This won't just be a fight, it will be Judgment Day. For Dubois, it's a shot at rewriting his story. For Usyk, it's another chapter in a legendary book. And as the world watches, the only question is, how long can Dubois survive the symphony of destruction Usyk is ready to conduct? Will Daniel Dubois silence the doubters? Or will Oleksandr Usyk craft yet another masterpiece in the art of dismantling? Let us know your predictions in the comments. This storm is about to hit.